Oh, ladies. I wanted to come to you today because I had a topic that is pressing to discuss. And so I wanted to make sure to come on and talk about it. So just right off the top of the bat, it is your responsibility to make sure that it's easy for your power partners to refer you. So if you, first of all, I wanted to say that when you're in the Dames and you are part of the power partner system, which means that you are having calls and that you have filled in your workbook, etc., or that you have been introduced to another Dame and you are going to have a call, you are part of this amazing system. And there are so many byproducts that come from these power partner relationships. So my recommendation to you is that you are open-minded and that you have several different goals for these power partner relationships. So yes, that cross-referring business and that you receiving referrals and you giving referrals is part of that. But also these relationships are worth billions of dollars because they are mastermind relationships. They are relationships where you can get past those limitations. They are relationships where you can test out things. They're research type relationships where when you're looking to have some new copy or you're looking to have a new program that you're releasing or something along those lines, you have your amazing power partners that you can run things by. They are business bestie relationships that you will find yourself wanting to travel across the country or across the globe for. There are so many benefits to these relationships. But the one thing that irks me most is when women are saying, I'm not getting any referrals. And so I ask a few questions. And today, the question that I ask that we're going to talk about, because there are many others, today, the question I'm going to talk about is, are you making it easy for your power partners to get you connected to your ideal clients? And what I mean by this is, if you are someone who charges premium dollar for your services, which we hope that everyone is valuing themselves and charging what you're worth, and you expect, so let's say you are someone who charges $20,000 and up for your services, and you are expecting your power partners to do all of the sales work to bring you a qualified candidate for your $20,000 program, you are putting a lot of responsibility on your power partners. That is a tall order to ask of your power partners who are not getting paid, but who are doing this because they want to build a quality relationship with you, because they really appreciate what you do in this world, because they appreciate your contribution to the world, and because they think that you could be a great resource for their clients. But when you don't have an offer that makes it really easy for your power partners to connect you to their friends, their families, their connections, their clients, and instead you expect them to sell your $20,000, $100,000, whatever program for you, it just makes it really hard for you to actually get those referrals. So on the contrary to that, an option or a couple of options that I wanted to discuss for you are a few things. We're going to talk about what offers you could have, and I won't say should because I don't like that should word, but it would behoove you to have something where your potential clients can experience you before having to pay $20,000, $10,000, $100,000, whatever it is, to work with you. So what that can look like is, so actually I'll tell you a story first. So when I was a marketing coach, starting in 2010, I got to the point where I had a 6 to 12 month program that was upwards of 15K. And that was the only way that I worked with clients. And I kept finding that while I had amazing power partners, and when I did get an introduction, they were kick-ass because I was super, super clear on who my ideal client is, down to the most minute of details. And because my power partners knew exactly what I did and exactly what I didn't do, and they knew my process. And because my power partners also knew everything that there was to basically know about me. so that when they did occasionally come across that diamond in the rough, that ideal client for me, they could refer me those clients, right? And when I came across their clients, their ideal clients, I could refer them because I asked all the questions to know exactly who those perfect clients were. But it wasn't very often that I was getting those leads because there's a lot of specs. They're listening for the key phrases that I've provided them with. There's a little star right there. The key phrases that my clients would say when they needed to work with me, my power partners would listen for that, and then they would send those people to me. But it wasn't very often that they found my ideal clients. So what I did was I created Denver Dames back in the day. This is 2015. I created Denver Dames as events where I could bring my 6- and 7-figure community together of power partners, of potential clients, the whole 9 yards. And I created these reverse mullet networking events, which then I created swipe copy for, promotional images for, invitations for, and I sent them out to my power partners. And I said, who do you know that is a woman running a 6- or 7-figure business? She loves to gather with her peers. She hates traditional networking. I didn't say hates, but she doesn't enjoy traditional networking, and she would love a community of growth-oriented women to hang out with. And I provided that information to my power partners, which meant that now, instead of getting one lead every 6 to 12 months from someone, I was getting 20, 30, 40, 50 women who were getting invited to my Denver Dames events, who were my potential clients, at which those events, I would do some education on marketing and branding topics so that those women would get an idea of who I was and what the subject matter that I was an expert in. And those women would get a taste of what it was to work with Meghann. And at the end of that education piece, I would send around a clipboard, I would collect their information, and I would call them. I would have discovery calls with them. And that is where I got 90% of my leads going forward in my marketing business until I decided to close it in 2019. So it was the catalyst, right? Because now it was a $35 ticket that my power partners could send people to. It was something that was highly desirable by my potential clients, and it put very little work on the hands of my power partners to send me people. There was a link, there was swipe copy, there were images, boom, all done. Not having to explain to their clients about my 5-figure offer, so on and so forth. So that is, in a nutshell, what I encourage you to do. Kat Stancic is a phenomenal trainer in helping you develop what your firework experience could be. And that's what she calls, that experience. Now, what we have in the Dames now is our roundtables, because I got to the point where I could not do one-on-ones with all the potential members any longer. And so we created the roundtables, which are 75-minute events. They're fun. People want to come to them. They get to network a little bit, and they get to learn about the Dames, and then they get to learn about membership. So those events are now things that we do twice a month. And some of you have created, like Kat has created her podcast experience. Melanie Hirschhorn has created her, her experience for nonfiction authors. And we have others who've created amazing events like that are once a month. Carrie Ann Munstead created her Embrace the Shift, which are wonderful events because Carrie Ann's a branding photographer who is, she is a highly valued branding photographer. She's not charging $25 for a headshot. So it makes it a lot easier for her power partners to send people to her Embrace the Shift online event. So my suggestion is that you work with Kat, that you work with someone in the Dames, you power partner with someone, you figure out what is that thing that you could create that would be a low barrier to entry offer so that more of your potential clients could experience you before they buy, and that your power partners could have something that they can send people to that is way easier than making that offer for you. Another example of someone who does this in a different way that does it really well is Jennifer Urezio. So when you meet Jennifer, she has a very specialized way of working with her clients. And instead of just telling you about it, she gives you a 15-minute experience of her services. And in that 15 minutes, you as her power partner get to see what it is that your clients would be doing with her when they decide to hire her. So that is another way that you could help your power partners help you. And then when they have experienced it, they can say, yes, I did this great experiential session with Jennifer. Here is how you can sign up for your experiential session with her. Here's the link. I highly recommend it. Now those clients that are that Jennifer, whoever I'm saying in this example, I can send my people in my community to this discovery session with Jennifer. They get to learn about her, and they not just learn about her, they experience her work in a 15-minute session. So it's completely doable for her. It's doable for them. And she's figured out how to distill her work down into that 15-minute session. Again, everyone can do this. Everyone who has an experience, who creates an experience for their clients, which is all of us, can distill their work down into a way that somebody can experience it either in an event type format or an experiential short session, something along those lines. So wanted to come to you with some of these practical tips and tools, because oftentimes the reason why you're not getting referred is your barrier to entry is super high. It's a ginormous wall, and it's making it really hard for your power partners to do what we want to do for you. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'm excited to bring you more of these tips as we move along in this amazing world. Talk to y'all soon.